the one station with the attitude. That's David Banner with them Firewater Boys. So, Outkast, is that old school?
What is the year?
2000, 1999, 2000?
Yes.
Super?
You realize that's 23 years ago.
Is that old school, Super Kid? Oh, okay.
From the 99 to the 2000s, yeah, I consider that old
I consider that old school.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we best ask David Banner himself because he is in the studio.
Yes, he is.
We got our old school artist in the building. I like when we play the old school song of the day and the old school artist is in the building.
We on the streak, man.
Okay, there you go.
I don't like that word. I don't like OG. I don't like old school. I mean, just because I do music,
right?
And I've been doing music consistently for a while. I told you what I told that young dude yesterday. I told him, I said, I'm not your OG. I'm your competition. You need to know the difference. You can't make beats better than me.
I like that.
You can't make beats better than me. You can't rap better than me.
Told me the story.
You can't run faster than me.
Right.
So, like, what does it bring you? The thing is that I think we try to off our music and make it so disposable, and we want to move people out the way, not understanding it's enough for all of us. Like, all of us are current. For us to even call somebody irrelevant or call them, like, who's to say that?
Right.
And that's something that's going to come for all of us. You know what I mean?
Facts.
The other thing is, like, when I think of old school, I think of Rick James. You know what I'm saying? Old, and I'm sitting right here in front of you, and we could go play basketball right now. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they watch the beard. I don't know, the goatee. Maybe that's why you think.
Well, no, my beard was my beard was white at 27.
Okay.
So it's been like
Still
this.
not an excuse.
Yeah, it's still not an excuse.
So you don't like old school. So what's a word that you would like to call it? Seasons, maybe?
Throwback, maybe?
Throwback?
No, that's even worse.
Yeah.
You gonna throw me back? What? hey, what? You know what I'm saying? And see, the crazy thing is people pick and choose the artists that they want to do that.
Right. True.
Like, T-Pain was out when I was out. Like,
Right.
he came out at the same time. He's not old school.
True.
He's not.
Right.
Chris Brown was out when I was out.
True.
We did records together.
Right.
Get Like Me.
Right.
So people do that to who they want to, trying to move people. Like, you can't move me out the way. Nobody ever will. You know, I just choose when I want to do music because I can do movies, I can teach, I can do whatever I want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's people's way of trying to move you out the way when they can't move you out the way themselves. When their talent can't move you out the way.
True.
Okay, I like that now.
I like that explanation.
So welcome to St.Maarten, my brother.
Man, all right, man. I ain't even supposed to be on the phone. How did I get here?
That is true.
Like, literally, I'm supposed to be on the beach doing nothing, man. And it's funny. I was speaking right before I got here, and I told Angela Yee where I was coming to, and she just laid it out, man. And G took me everywhere. So
Okay,
like,
not everywhere. You got
I
people,
was gonna say,
you got
because-
people thinking now I took you.
I was like, IG, you showed him the spot.
hilarious. Well, they having parties.
Apparently.
But they having parties.
Apparently.
They having parties in some of the special spots.
Apparently they have parties at some of the special spots.
Yes, sir.
Which I will not be at.
Bottles pop.
Wow.
Bottles popping and everything else.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Nah, man, but it's been wonderful.
So you were supposed to be like this is supposed to be your R&R.
Yeah, it's supposed to be my R&R, man. But like what I realized, man, is when you get an opportunity to touch the people, and you saw it last night, bro. When we was out, it was such a warm reception, man, and people gave so much love, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you can go to a lot of places with beaches, but it's the people. You know, it's the people that make things special, and for us to be in a place where it's you're on vacation, but it feel like it's home.
Right.
That's the spirit that we need to get back in music. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's that spirit that I love.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's Mississippi to me. You know what I'm saying?
M-I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, humpback. Come on. Oh, now you don't want to say it now, right? You were saying on the Super Duper Bowl.
She was, right?
Yeah, she a big P Valley fan, and now she like,
Down in the valley with
where
the
the girls get naked. If you throw it faster, you know they. Come on, sing it, girl.
There you go. He gave you the mic. Gave you the mic.
So this was supposed to be your R&R, your rest and relaxation. Instead, now G Money got you running into rumps. R&R.
Now we doing it easy though.
No, we real easy, man. Just going.
True. It
just
is.
going to eat. see
It
the
was a
people.
Thursday.
Just going. Well, no, it was light because that's what I chose. Like our lifestyle is that. That's what people don't understand about me.
Yeah.
Like, people ask me like, bro, why you don't be at the clubs more? Like, bro, that's been my life for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
over that amount of years.
Right.
So like that's my workplace. It's like y'all being off and coming up here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is.
I tell people all the time, the last place I want to be on a night off is a club.
It's a club.
That's the last place I want to be.
And then what people don't understand is with me being a producer, like when I'm in my car, it's usually silent.
Yeah.
Because like all my time is like beats,
right?
And rhymes and
music, or whatever.
Music, and actually, I'm producing one of the biggest artists in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't tell you the other person I'm producing.
No,
I couldn't say it last night.
Yeah.
And so like it's always music. So actually, what gives me opportunity to be better, and shout out to Cool and Dre. They just told me they just left in my homies. Is to be able to listen to the Most High in silence. That's where you get stuff that nobody has.
That little meditation time.
Yeah. So let's go back some. You represent Mississippi.
Right.
You kind of like the guy that put Mississippi on the map when it comes to hip hop.
Right.
Tell me about that journey.
I never really looked at it so much. Well, I did. Just what has happened to our people historically to me meant a lot to me. And like that was always my focus, to be able to put our people on, and then put our people on in an intelligent way. You know, to be able to go to 106 and Park the first time that I went, and for them to expect me to be a certain type of guy, and I'm going on talking about Emmett Till. I'm going on talking about the history of our people. Yeah, I come from this environment. Yeah, some of this stuff I have done, but you know, my people, I told you when I got here, like, what's the history of the people? That's the first thing I want to know. Where the people at? You know, I want to go around people that look and vibe and talk the way that we talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I always been. So when I got the opportunity to put my people on, that meant the world to me. And then it went from just Mississippi to the Mid-South, from the Mid-South to the South. Then it went to the point, then it got to the point with me traveling internationally. I wanted to be a beacon for hope for anybody that comes from a place where, because I know if I can make it, there's no excuse for nobody on this planet. If I can make it out of Mississippi, all the history, all of the things that we've been through, with them not having cameras down there, for me to make it, like literally a lot of people don't understand this. I had just about no money at all. I bought 100 CDs. I stopped and I bought 100 CDs. Sold them at $10 a piece, made $1,000. Bought 1,000 CDs, sold them, made $10,000, took $5,000.
Kept flipping it.
Bought a van and built a studio in my van.
Mobile studio.
I went to Walmart and bought a converter and literally used to do drops. And you got to understand, this was back in the day. So if you go back and listen to Mississippi, the album, my album that Like a Pimp was on, if you listen to the interludes, you can hear the car.
What?
Oh, man.
Like passing by.
Yeah.
Like I had a 3-state distribution company out of the back of my van. I may have been one of the first rappers like to have an online independent, like because one of my homeboys worked for, I think, like Dell or something like that. And way back in the day. And we literally built what people have now, back when a lot of people didn't even know what the internet was at the time. So like it's to be able to be that representative. I think when what you saw last night, when the people see me, that's what they see.
Right. You have an amazing journey, and not only that, you've been doing production for probably some of the biggest names in the business. Some people probably not even know half the artists you've produced for.
Maroon 5, Quincy Jones, Lil Wayne, Chris Brown,
T.I.
Snoop, T.I.
Rubber Band Man.
Yeah.
Your catalog is...
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know, too. The record people really didn't know was Thug Holiday for Trick Daddy, Tip Drill for Nelly.
Nelly, yes.
Which was the late night
phenomenon. The late night BET video.
Late night,
Oh, my goodness. That was crazy. You did Shop Boys. You did Chris Brown. You did... who else you did? What did you do for Quincy Jones?
On Quincy's last album, we did "Give Me the Night" with Jamie Foxx. Yeah. It just goes on and on, man. Jill Scott, Neo, Yeah, bro, just so many.
That's blessings.
Oh, about 70 major acts I produced.
And how many Grammys you got?
Sort of one. I got my first Grammy nod on the Carter 3.
Oh,
okay.
La with Buster. Buster. I did Buster Rhymes. It goes on, but that was my first Grammy nod. It was crazy because I got the paper,
Right.
and then that's when they decided that unless you produce half of the album that you can't get it. So I never got my Grammy.
For real?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was the craziest thing. So I got the paper.
So you got the paper and said that
I don't
you
have
won
the hardware.
the actual, yeah.
I don't have that because that was the year that they was like, yeah,
That's
wow.
good stuff.
yeah, too many pop, too many rap producers. You
Right.
know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So if you didn't do half of the album, so I guess sort of, yeah, you know,
what do you prefer, producing or rapping?
it don't matter because it's all a blessing.
It's all part of the music.
As hard as our parents work,
Yeah.
you know, coming from the places that we come from to do what our grandparents would say is playing.
Yeah.
You know, I go soon as I get back January, I go shoot a TV show in LA and in New Orleans. So like, it's a blessing. And at first, I was doing too much. That's one of the reasons why I'm here. Like, to be so blessed and to be able to do it at a level that's better than a lot of people's 100%.
Right.
You know, but then you get pulled in so many different ways.
Right.
But then what it does give you is when it get rough on the rap side, I can go act.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When it get on rough on the acting
back to
side,
producing.
I can go to producing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's been a blessing, but to have the opportunity to dominate in one place is where what I really want to do.
But which one would you say comes more natural to you? Is it the production, the acting, the actual behind the, in the studio and the mic?
I'm dope.
Doesn't matter.
Like, I don't, like to be honest with you, bro, and I'm not.
You're the trifecta. You're all three, everything.
Not really that, man. It's just. I love what I do, and I just want it to be creative. Like that's my only knock. People have never really noticed, and I'm gonna break something down. I'm gonna show you something like and get like me, like how creative it actually is. The stuff that I want to do is just so innovative. I had 2 websites to say that I was the first one to ever do crowdfunding. You know, my last album, the God Box 1, the marketing on that, a couple of people said it was the dopest marketing campaign that they had ever seen before, especially from an independent company. You know, the tags, your name before your beats. People don't think about that. You know, it's just being innovative and having the opportunity. The thing is that when you come from places that we come from, you have to be so loud. Because there's so much music.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, so I want to be that inspiration, you know.
A lot of people don't know you have a production company where you not only you do soundtracks for commercials, movies.
I scored the second biggest Gatorade commercial in history.
Yeah.
Besides, the one with Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Man, I can honestly say, bro, I'm so fortunate. To think that I was homeless, bro, sleeping next to dogs, and, sleeping in my van. My van got stolen with the studio in it.
Wow. No way.
You know what I'm saying?
Luckily, you weren't in it.
Huh?
Luckily, you weren't in it.
No, if I was in it,
it would have never got stolen. True.
Yeah.
Problems.
But I'll give y'all a quick story. My van was stolen in Birmingham, Alabama. And that was the place I happened to be driving through when Steve Rifkin called me to give me the deal.
Loud Records.
It was SRC at the time.
Yeah, SRC at the time, but he was at Loud first.
Yeah, and I was like, I got that deal at Kinko's. They faxed me the deal. You know what I'm saying? I got it back in the same.
You went to Kinko's? Here's Kinko's number. Fax me the record deal.
And I got it in the same place that everything was taken away from me.
Wow.
So, like, I say that, like, if any of y'all that hear my voice, if you're going through anything, like, anything can change in one day. You just got to keep going. And usually when times get hard, it blocks our ability because we so in our feelings, we so in our emotions, that the blessing that you're looking for may be sitting right next to you.
Right in front of you.
You know what I'm saying? So, That's the word of the day.
That's the word. You also do a lot of philanthropy work, and you do a lot of speaking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do a lot of speaking. So much speaking that I don't even think you had time to make an album or do music.
Yeah. Well, we got a new album, The God Box 2, is slated to come out next year. I mean, Benny the Butcher, Conway, 2 Chainz, Tip. It goes on and on.
You produced the whole album yourself?
I was just gonna ask. Yeah.
No, probably about.
You gave somebody some light?
About 60%.
60%.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you more critical on your own production, or when you get stuff from other producers? Like, what's your reaction usually?
Way more critical on myself than I am anybody else. Actually, I'm finding out that's a form of procrastination. When you overanalyze yourself.
When you overthink it.
Yeah, you way overthink it because when like I give you an example. I just got some beats from Sunny Digital. Crazy, like yeah, and it's easier because I always tell people, and this may sound strange, no matter how beautiful or how sexy your daughter may be, it's your daughter. You know, you made her, so everything about her you see and you know, and it comes from you. You know, you actually see you in it.
Right.
When you see somebody else, it's always, and you always enamored with it because it's not yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's something that you don't have access to. So that's how I always feel about other people's beats. Like I hear stuff that I don't hear in my own stuff. You know, sometimes. Yeah.
But you was telling me a story how you was sending beats to somebody for a long time.
Oh yeah. So this artist that I'm producing right now, I've been sending beats to her for 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. And like for the first 4 or 5 years, I wasn't hearing much back. And she's my friend.
Yeah.
On top, yeah.
So when you send in the beats, is there response to the beats, or you just wasn't hearing anything?
I wasn't hearing nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
All right. And so the cool thing is, one of them ended up, I guess she heard and ended up being like the song she performed on Good Morning America, right? That's one. But out of all the beats, I'm sending 40, 50 beats, right? So I get a call when the pandemic happened. And she was like, Banner, I gotta apologize to you.
Hey,
like,
big head.
I didn't even listen to. I hadn't even really been listening to your beats. Wow. But then I'm doing a movie in Canada, and I'm locked in this cabin, and now we're not gonna do the movie, and so I've been working on the album. She was like, 2 people gonna produce my album, you know, and I'm like, who? And then she was like, Swizz Beats. I was like, that's dope. And you? Me? She said, but this is the amazing part. She said, and it's already half done.
Oh.
Because she was using the beats that you were sending.
She had took the 2 tracks and put them on. And the most amazing thing, I probably shouldn't say this, but I am. Some of these beats was 10, 12 years old.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it. If I've been sending the beats for 8 years, some of them beats were 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And that showed me, like, bro, during that time, I could have got mad and be like, man, I've been sending you these beats. I ain't sending you nothing else. Like, just to show you, sometimes you give up on yourself and you give up on the process and you give up on the blessings that God have for you. And imagine, I could have totally severed that relationship by trying to be on my time.
Right.
And now I really didn't have to do no work. All I had to do is send the Pro Tools files. The work was already done.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you were persistent and consistent, and it paid off.
Man, it more than paid off.
Yeah.
And the whole world gonna see it.
When next year the album come out?
Yeah.
Is there someone that you haven't produced for, but you want to work with sometime in the future?
Well, I love to work with a lot of the new artists. I love to work with some of the artists that's doing Afro beats. But as far as like in where I come from, I always wanted to work with Andre 3000.
Oh,
like
man.
Most of the people that I've ever wanted to work with, I've worked with at some capacity. You know what I'm saying? Some capacity in some kind of way, either feature a beat on a video game, in a movie, at some kind of point. And one of the things that I tell the younger artists is like, if you paying for a feature, what I used to do is pay for the feature, But I wasn't paying for the feature. I was paying for the relationship.
Right.
Okay, right.
So if you get in the feature and you don't meet the artist,
right.
you don't talk to the artist.
It doesn't even make sense.
Like you wasted your money.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I would use my features, or at the time the record label's money, to build my Rolodex. So I got an opportunity to meet all the people that I looked up to, and it was way, 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 way bigger than a record. The exceptions of that was like Chris Brown, because of our friendship. Right. I've been knowing him since he was 14, but for the most part, most of the stuff that I did was to gain a relationship.
How'd you not make a record with Andre 3000?
It just never happened.
Just never happened.
Like,
And if you are, don't do a flute music part 2, please.
Let me tell you something. I would tell y'all something really, really funny. Way before the flute album.
Yeah.
The flute album.
When I did, when those pictures first started popping up, right? I literally was gonna ask Dre to come on my podcast and just play the flute.
Oh, okay.
Like imagine us being like right now.
Right
now, we talking right now, and then you hear and like over in the corner is literally you pan, like she pans over right now, and it happens to be Andre 3000
in the corner.
Yeah.
And it not be a joke, it be dead serious. Itself one is amazing that you got Andre 3000 playing anything or in the studio, period.
True.
I tell y'all another story. Andre was supposed to been, and this is how, and I'm serious about this. He was supposed to been the first guest on my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing the podcast?
We did over 100 episodes. So y'all go check out the David Banner podcast.
New studio.
Yep. Yes, he did see that. Yeah. We took a 2-year hiatus, but I called Andre. Andre said, I like what you're doing. I like what you stand for. I want to be a part of it at some capacity. But for Andre, that can mean anything, right? He called me a year almost to the date to respond. And I had done like 50 episodes by the time. He literally, and he apologized. He's like, Banner, I don't keep up with time. He's like, I've been in the forest. I'm not even joking. He said, I've been in the forest. And he was like, I apologize. And what I told him, I say, bro, if you were easy to get to, you would have no value to me.
True, right.
But the fact that I can even almost get you and nobody else can even get in contact with
means the world.
Means the world. And it will happen. And so I'll hit him every now and then. Like, you ready? You ready? And when the day come, it'll be the day when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Where God intended it for it to happen.
Yeah. You sound like a very spiritual guy. Are you like really big into like manifestation and everything? Like once you think about it long enough, it's gonna happen? Or are you more of the type that if it's for me, it's for me, it's gonna happen?
A little bit of both, but more in the manifestation. You have to lay the groundwork, both mentally, spiritually, and physically. But then you have to have faith enough in the universe to know that it's happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you keep at it, that means you don't believe. Like I don't know if I truly believe in this, but I heard a man say something that's so powerful. He said that he doesn't believe in mantras and saying stuff over and over again. Right. And they were like, why? He said, because if you ask me for $100 and I say yes, you keep asking me again, it means that you don't believe. But if you ask one time and you know that it's coming, you ain't got to say it but one time.
That makes sense.
I told somebody, like, I don't believe, I know. There's a difference. When you believe that there's 1 inch of doubt, I don't know. I don't believe. I know that I know that I know that I know that I am. Regardless of whether anybody sees it or not, I know I am.
Also, like what you told me last night, we had a little conversation about God, about believing in God.
Right.
You want to repeat that? That was kind of deep, what you said.
I said most people don't believe in God. You could tell that they don't believe in God because they're scared, because they doubt. If God literally bounced you on his, her, or its knee, the way that we act as a people, you'll be out here slapping cobras. No, I'm dead serious. I'm not playing. I'm dead serious. Like God, my pops. Don't trip. Let me jump off this building real quick.
Yeah. He got me.
Yeah.
He got me.
Let me go swim next to this well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I tell y'all right now, if y'all want to hear more from David Banner, y'all go to davidbanner.com. I got something really, really, really special that's going on in the States this summer. And I want everybody to fly over to Atlanta for. Go and sign up for the mailing list right now, because once the world knows about what we're about to do, we're about to do something to try to connect the diaspora. And we may have to go directly to the people. So y'all make sure that y'all go to davidbanner.com and sign up on the mailing list. Go check out the God Box, my last album. That's really important to me.
God Box too. I'm hearing some good stuff about this.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm hearing some people like who got like sneak peek listens and like, yo, this is gonna be like bananas.
Yeah. Charlemagne said that the last God Box
Was his
may have been one of the best albums
of the best album. Yeah.
And very, very political. Really, really dope. This album is more digestible, but really more what people want to hear from David Banner. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had to figure out like when was the best time to drop that. You know what I'm saying? Because we were in a space where people were ready for it, I think. And then I don't know if y'all saw it, like life just changed. I'm seeing stuff now, bro, that I would have never thought, like just how much life has changed in the last year and a half.
Facts.
Shit, what y'all been through on the island, period, bro, in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see the recovery. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing, bro.
Definitely.
So like, you know, when you drop music, to me, I believe it's dropping when people need it the most.
Okay.
So it's coming.
So, because like you're a very spiritual guy, whatever, very positive guy. You still cussing on songs? Or?
Yes. Boy.
I want to know.
Forgot what he said. God got him. God got his back,
God
man.
got him.
Well, I believe that God is all. People have a tendency of making us believe that God
It's just one
is good.
specific thing. Oh, right. True.
No, God is everything.
Everything, yeah.
God made everything. God is omnipotent. So it's where your spirit is. You know, for me, I always said that I wanted to be the Harriet Tubman, the male Harriet Tubman of rap. Like, to be able, I'm one of the few people who can toe those lines and, you know, have people trust. And so, like, to be able to go back and then take people to where I am now, to go back and take, there's not many people that can do that. And I'm grateful to be able to do it one more time.
Okay, good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
The name, David Banner, we all know. I mean, the Hulk. But how did it become about you get that mantra, that name?
It was given to me.
Wait, that's not his real name?
No.
For real?
No.
I always thought that.
I always thought it was.
I swear to God.
And now-
David
Hulk.
Banner is
David
the Hulk.
Banner.
That was the
But
reason.
Bruce Banner.
No. It's both. David Banner was the TV show with Lou
Correct.
Ferrigno.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
And then Bruce Banner was the comic book. And then if you remember in the movie, what they did was they made the dad,
David Banner.
David Banner,
Correct.
and made the son.
Yes, that's correct.
Correct.
Okay.
And yeah, it was sort of how I am now. Like I was like when I'm not on stage, it's this mild-mannered book reader.
Okay.
But then the other side of me, or when I get angry, I have a clinical anger problem.
Really?
But like,
Clinical.
people don't notice it now because I meditate so much and go to therapy.
You fool me. You seem like such a cool, calm, positive guy.
Well, because I work on it.
Yeah.
And you got to think, man, all the stuff that we've been blessed with, especially the way that life is now, if somebody can make you mad and you'll give it up that easily, then they control you.
They control you, yeah.
You're a slave to them. And your anger is the mechanism that's used. So if a person that says, okay, I want to take everything from him, they can go get the police and be like, y'all stay close. Come and say one word to you, they know you're going to react, and then the police standing right there, they come and get you, it's over with.
Right.
So like me, I had to learn, like I've been too blessed, you know, I've been
throw it all away.
able to throw it all away because of anger. That's weakness.
Because of someone else controlling. Yeah.
So I work on it every day. I meditated before I came here. And then when I leave, I'm going to the beach, sit in front of the sun for a minute.
So you gave yourself the name David Banner because of what you...
It was given to me.
It was given, okay.
And then I took it. And the reason why I took it was just because you said that I would go into big meetings and people are like, I know you, but I don't remember where. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because you got to use everything that you possibly can, as long as it doesn't compromise your manhood and your spiritual beliefs or womanhood.
But were you free to use the name, or did it have legal complications when you used it?
Did Stan Lee call you?
It's actually a long story behind it. I'd rather not talk about it on the radio. You don't want to make time? Because no, I got time.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, it was such a blessing. And they told me as long as you don't make comic books, you're good. Okay. But yeah, it came up. If you notice, no other rappers been able to use a comic book name. Think about it.
Think about it.
Like when they tried to use, like Iron Man, they got taken away.
Tony Starks.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him use
Ghostface Killer. Yeah.
So I've been fortunate with that, man. So that's the kind of things that I'm talking about that happen for you when you in line, bro. Like
that's crazy.
That's never been a mistake like that in business history.
Facts.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Okay. All right.
So
I guess we'll have to wait for the book.
Yeah.
To get that. Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming.
And who's the young lady that says David Banner?
You took that question right out of my mouth.
It's my ex.
Oh, she gets a check still? Nah. Okay, just check.
She ain't looking for something right now?
Nah.
She's not with her husband right now and saying, that's me?
That's me.
She's with her husband. Now, that's a book. and a movie.
Can you tell me, like, in short, how that came about from the first time she recorded? Was it in the van? Was it, how did...
No, we were actually outside. I had this mini recorder, and that's the recorder that I used to... put in my van. I had it in the passenger seat, and we were outside and recording the interludes, like literally in my dad parking. I mean, in a carport. And she would go into where the washing machine was, and we'll close it in. And she just did the interlude, and she was like, "David Banner, this crazy beep 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 from Mississippi." And it was, and what happened with me was, if y'all ever noticed. Back in the day, like Jay-Z would say, Kanye, you a fool.
Right.
Just Blaze, you did it again.
Right.
And every time he would say that, their stock would go up by 10,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, but don't nobody ever call our names. For some reason, Southern rap groups wanted to keep their producers hidden. Like, think about...
Yeah, you have a point there.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, since nobody will say my name, I'll say my own name.
Yeah.
So I'll put David Banner on the front, since wouldn't nobody scream my name. And I think about like groups. I think about producers like Lil Jon, for example. Lil Jon had almost as much music out at one time as Pharrell did.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't even connect the dots.
You think about Beats by the Pound. Nobody has put out music at the level and at the frequency that they did, like at the volumes that they did.
Right.
Like, I've never went in anybody's house and seen that many plaques in my life when I went in KLC house.
Really?
So, if nobody's screaming your name, then you have to scream it. And so
now every producer now has their tag.
Right, they tag before it.
Yeah.
And I'll say something. There is arguments about who was the first, but I know I made it popular. Like, people had their arguments about, I think I was the first to put their name. Like tumbling, they had the tumbling dice before. But I remember Tip, I remember when we did Rubber Band Man, and I had been doing my tag way before then. But Tip called up to the radio station because they was taking my tags off of my songs.
Oh.
Right? They wouldn't let you do that. You know what I'm saying? And Tip said, that boy worked too hard. Like, don't do that. You play my music the way I give it to you. And from then on, the tags have been on.
So they was taking the tags out of the music?
Yep. Yeah, they edited them off.
Yeah.
Same way that y'all, like somebody cuss and you edit it off.
Wow.
And especially because mine was David Banner at the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
What about the blackface? Because if you go on your website, that's one of the first things that you see. You have on the cap right now. Tell us a little bit about that. Why is it your logo? You would say.
My clothing line is just about the people, the red, black, and green. Marcus Garvey laid the foundation. For us to be about the people, the blood of the people, the land of the people. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted a liberation flag. I wanted something for our generation. So I made it bright. I amped the colors.
Yeah. And
it was so dope, man. Like, I've seen people from all over the world, Fela Kuti's son. You know what I'm saying? When they were doing their thing, they had it. We see, bro, from gang members all over the world, like, using that as a representation of the struggle, and people using it. And, like, I was just so proud. And y'all can go to davidbanner.com and get it.
Get it.
I was going to ask you that, though.
Yeah. But it came at the right time. And so for me, this is just what I want to say. One thing that I don't like when it comes to when people of color, when melanated people, when the descendants of Africans show they love for their culture, it's always looked at as revolutionary or negative against somebody else because other people have done so much to us.
Yeah.
But why can't it just be themselves? The same way other races have for themselves. And me saying that I love my people, I put my people first. And when any other race of people do that, they applaud it for it.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We're racist.
Or because we can't be racist. You have to have power. You have to have the ability to stop other people from doing something to be racist.
Right.
So don't let nobody call you racist. We can't stop people from eating. We can't stop people from having water and jobs. You know what I'm saying? We can make people slightly uncomfortable. We can be bigots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We can be a-holes, but past that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People just go home.
Right.
You can't go to our club. Okay, bye, skirt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We go to the other side. So me, I just wanted to give, especially the children, something for them to be proud of. So we made flags, because the flags were the most powerful thing. And for people to be flying their flags outside of their houses and their homes. For people to hike with them and you see them on top of mountains all over the world. That's the stuff that means something.
You have a line of suits too, also?
Not yet.
Not yet. It's coming.
Hadioko Bespoke. He does suits for everybody. Steve Harvey, T.I., Samuel L. Jackson. He's from Mississippi, actually. And I ended up getting, Tip ended up telling me about him. I ended up going over. And what he does is not only does he tailor make your suits, he makes them something, he connects them to you. Like when he did Samuel L. Jackson's suit, he put every movie that he had ever done in the inside of both jackets. So when he went to Ellen, he was just like, bam,
open it,
history.
Real customized.
Yeah. Okay. So like that's what he did with mine. We're talking about expanding and doing some more things, but one thing that I do say that I want to see more of is that I just want to see, and this is something that we all gonna talk about offline, is just, people that look like us owning businesses.
I was just gonna get into
the places that we from.
You asked me a funny question last night, and you got me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You was like, how many people do you know from St.Maarten, from St.Maarten, that own a business like this? Like we was in a club, a bar, restaurant, but he said from
St.Maarten, that owns it.
From here,
not much,
not much.
And
sadly,
there are a few that started it and it did pretty good, but then it's just the support.
Yeah, I was going to say
lack of support.
I was going to say that. That's one of the things that I say about hip hop, is when people criticize hip hop and say that hip hop can be better. Well, the real truth is it has nothing to really do with the artist. It's who consumes
the consumer,
it. Whatever the consumer consumes, the artist will usually, especially in this day and time, will usually navigate to what the demand is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if we truly demanded better than it would be. If we went into a business and said, yo, before we even open up the doors, this is what we stand on, this is what we gonna do, and what do y'all want from it?
Yeah.
From a community, perspective, if we do this and we do this together, I mean, because I am giving a service, and if I give a service at a zenith level, that should be good enough. But since it's not,
yeah,
what can I do?
What do you want? Here's
the contract.
Yeah.
And let's take care of each other.
Right.
That's what I want to see. We already, we're talking about some things, but like that's what I want to be the light for. For indigenous people who are indigenous to any land, as indigenous as we can be, knowing the history of most of the places that we from. Why we can't own businesses? We spend enough money. We make enough money. Let's spend it with each other.
We control the culture also. Yeah. Everything that's popping comes from us. And then everybody else runs with it, takes it, and then we lose out.
I'm going to own it.
Yeah.
Like, that's my plan from now on. We're gonna own it. And that's what we're going to bring to Atlanta in the summer. Yeah,
because you talk a lot about, financial literacy and black empowerment, especially when it comes to finance. Have you ever, sat down with a lot of your peers that you see getting all this money and just spending it all over the place and talk to them listen, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your money, but we need to put it into something else, into our communities and,
One of the most amazing things just happened to me about a month ago. I don't know if y'all saw the Soul Train Awards when T-Pain got his lifetime award. He said that I was his life coach, and he said that I helped to change the direction of his whole company. One of the things with me, I think that's an actual fault, is I do most of the things that I do from the bottom of my heart. I don't really do it. I think that it comes from...
For no acknowledgement,
from a spiritual place if you do it the right way. But it does help when people do acknowledge
you, yeah.
And, from some of the relationships that mean the most to me, I hit up Kyrie when Kyrie was in the middle of what he was going through, his storm.
With the NBA,
Yeah, I literally hit him up on Instagram and was like, hey, bro, if you ever need somebody to talk to, just to talk to, call me. He called. One Sunday, I was sitting on my porch and, hello? Yeah, this Kyrie. Kyrie who? You told me to call. Crossover, you know what I'm saying? Dribble.
Yeah, Uncle Drew.
Uncle Drew, yeah. And we literally sat on the phone for an hour.
Yeah.
And I'll tell y'all, even though the connection didn't happen, man, one of the things that meant the most to me in my whole career, one of the things, I was driving in Atlanta, and this is when Offset had just got out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's happening, bro? Driving by. He was like, OG, stop for a minute. And he was like, bro, I really want to do better. I don't know how. Can you help me? And for somebody, that's when the Migos first went.
Yeah.
For somebody as young as he was, as successful as the Migos was, at that point in history,
right?
For him to be
reach out,
OG, I want some help, and to open up his heart and be like, man, I don't know how to do it. That showed me, man, that these children are waiting on us. And it's not their responsibility. They are our responsibility. They didn't ask to be on this earth.
They need guidance just like everybody else.
Exactly. And some time. And in most cases, all they want is just somebody to show them some attention. That's it. It don't cost much.
Yeah. Now going back to Kyrie, do you think it's fair the way that we get judged and treated? Because when Kyrie said what he said, they came down hard on him. When other black celebrities and black people in the communities, when they say things, the people come down on them. But when other people of other races basically do and say the same things, they don't get the same persecution as us. Do you think it's fair, or do you? And when I say fair, FAIR and also FEAR.
Life ain't fair.
Right.
It may not be fair to them that we are the physical depiction of the Most High. that may not be fair to them. Who knows? Like, that's how I look. That's what I believe.
Right.
I believe that we are the closest thing to God on this earth. I believe that with all my heart. So to a certain degree.
No, you don't believe that. You
I
know that.
Yeah,
okay.
I know. Thank you. But this is what I will say seriously. It's gonna be unfair until we get our own house. Like, for some reason, we think that we can come into somebody's house or live in somebody's house or be up under somebody else, and that it's ever going to be fair. It's not. You know, that's like your child telling you, I want to sleep in dad bed sometime. Yeah. I'm in here. I'm in this house, too. Like, no, you in my house.
Right. Yeah.
So I just think it's going to take a couple years or 10 years for us to get our own. And you get your own and you don't have to worry about it. One of the most amazing things that I can say to y'all, and I tell any artist this on the planet, please listen to me. Listen when I say this. You are successful if your talent can take care of your monthly bills. Capitalism and consumerism makes us want to compete against Drake or David Banner or who. You don't know what any of these people did to get in the position that they're in.
Right.
If you playing the bass guitar at your church on Sunday pays your house note, you won. If you don't have to wake up and work for somebody else, I wish somebody would have told me this and I would have listened. Because sometimes we get discouraged if we don't go platinum or we don't go gold or we don't have an opportunity to play
NBA.
Or you're not viral or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And man, I remember telling Big Crit, who I think is one of the people who's like the BB King of our generation, right?
Crit, yeah.
I said, Crit, man, like, it don't matter about what people think. Every time I go to one of your concerts, it's sold out. You'll be here like a Tribe Called Quest when everybody else has failed or everybody else has faded out. That's what really matters. So if you hear me right now, as sure as my name is David Banner, if you have a talent and you are making money off your talent and you don't have to punch a clock, you are blessed. You have won already. That's not saying that you don't have to want more or push for more, but you won.
Outkast, you listening?
I am listening.
You're making money off your talent out there.
I am listening to every word.
Cass, bro, when I came in here, bro, just in the time that I was sitting in here, bro, you named almost 7 events that you turned down. It's like, nah. So literally, you're not an Outkast anymore. Those days, you are literally Andre 3000, dog. You have transcended to the flute level, G.
To the flute level. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and I do want to say this, man. I am proud of Dre. Like, for somebody to stand in the midst of any type of criticism and stand at the precipice and say, this is who I am spiritually, I'm going to do, because I believe that as artists, the culture shouldn't dictate us. We should dictate the culture. And when they started giving us money,
right,
we gave up the ability to guide the boat.
Right.
I tell y'all something that made me step away from production for a while, and this happened to me for real. I'm not saying that I started the type of music that they do in the South or none of that kind of stuff, but what I am saying is I'm a part of it.
You're a pioneer.
Whether it's a big part or a small part, I am a part of it.
Definitely.
So I remember this young white A&R telling me what I should do on a Southern rap track, and he felt comfortable. Maybe R&B, maybe, but not R&B either. Maybe classical, maybe country, maybe not even rock. Like, we have allowed people to feel comfortable about dictating our culture.
Yeah.
Really? I was like, man, I had to fall back for a minute. Because I can't swallow that. The fact that you feel comfortable enough.
He almost brought up the Hulk.
Yeah, he really did. But like, that's how we should be about our culture, man.
But it's been like that for years, bro. For years, from when hip hop first started, it's, oh no, you got to do it like this. No, it'll never be commercialized. It'll never be
this won't ever sell.
It won't ever sell. Or this and
you got to look this way. You got to talk this way.
Well, I think that's for some. Like, for some of us, they didn't say anything.
Right.
They were afraid of me. And maybe it was justifiable. But like, people will find a way to manipulate you. You know what I'm saying? But the real truth is, when you step in front of a mic or you step in front of a drum machine, no one has a gun in your head telling you that you have to do anything.
Right.
It's still your choice.
It's you.
Right. It's still your choice to say or do. Now, the ramifications of that, it is what it is. But Dave Chappelle, to me, is the greatest visual, successful. Dave told me the most powerful thing in the world. I don't even know if he wants me to tell people, but Dave Chappelle said to me one time, he said, David?
He does impressions too, folks.
He said, David, you know why I don't have a shoe deal? I said, no. Why don't you have a shoe deal? He said, because if I don't have a shoe deal, they can't take it from me. I said, what?
Yeah.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
And so David honed in to what he does the best. And that's stand up. And he give it to him. And he give it to him at a zenith level. And nobody can take that from him. Nobody can cancel you from the culture if they're not from the culture.
And if they don't own it from you either. That's why he had the whole thing with his show as well, with Comedy Central.
Crazy. What do you think about the state of rap music today, especially
You took the words right out of my mouth.
That's twice. Come on,
Yeah,
stop
right,
saying that.
exactly, man. Just spit it out. Just get it in.
Especially female rap.
Ski.
This is what I say. I say it's time talking about the state of hip hop and not talking about the state of people. Like, what is the state of people that make people talk this way?
True.
What is the state of people that make people listen to it? Because the real truth is, any type of music that we do, regardless of what it may end up being, if people cut off their radios, y'all gonna play something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So people are consuming it. And the thing is, as much as people say that they want positive music, what do they consume?
The negative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think culturally, people don't want the responsibility of saying that music is not messed up. Our culture has a problem. And that's, again, why I'm creating what I'm creating in Atlanta, because I want to bring a block for us to talk about that. Like, what are we... First of all, how is AI going to affect our culture? Because one of the scary thing is the same thing with streaming. Think about this. This is going to really, really trip y'all out. You know, they just had the strike with the movies, right?
Right.
That happened to music first. Nobody did a strike.
True.
The same exact thing that they were fighting for to not happen in movies happened to music.
Yeah.
So did they not say anything? Because I know Tip said something. I know I said something. I know Snoop said something. I know Prince was the loudest.
He was the loudest.
You know? And why didn't we stand up the way that they stand up? Was it because it was more black people? Was it because it affected us more than it affected anybody else? And then music is disposable to people now?
Or you don't have a union?
And we don't have a union? So like, I was like, yo, that's crazy. So all of these things are happening to us that affect our children's lives, that affect the way that we eat, where we work, and we don't have a say-so. In America right now, they're telling us what books we can and cannot read, and people are not outraged. You could push your history on me every single day, all night, and I can't even talk about what you did to me? Like, think about that.
Trip out.
And hip-hop is supposed to be a reflection, and we supposed to be 100. Then we need at least 2 songs about it. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's things about to change. So we at least need a group of people where we can sit down and have these conversations. And it don't have to be angry. But what it has to be is, I don't mind it being angry, but it has to be to the point where we can sit down and talk to each other and figure out a strategy and even figure out whether we like it or not.
Right.
We just deal with stuff.
Right.
Okay, it's coming. We can't do nothing about it. Oh, well, we can. We can do everything about it.
Wow. David Banner in the studio here, Laser 101.
Do you have a date set for the summer for next year?
Got box 2? What are you talking about?
No, the
special
event that
thing.
he
special
was-
event.
Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody here is gonna travel over.
Just hit me up on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
please.
man. I'll send you my passport number.
Come on.
Get the ticket.
Let me ask y'all a question, really
Yeah.
quick. If there's one thing that you all can tell me about the island, because the reason why I came here is I was shooting a show, and the producer, I told her like I needed to get some rest, and she said, "Come here." She said there was a spirit that I can't explain. We were talking about that. Like, what do you all think it is about you all's island that keeps bringing people back? A guy sitting next to me in first class, he was like, "I'm from Detroit, bro. I got a house here. I love it here." What do you all think it is? What's special?
It could be a mixture of things. It could be the atmosphere, and like you mentioned, the people. There's positive and negatives to it. You want to talk about the negatives is where I said no to earlier. To the positives, it's just the atmosphere, the culture, the food. A lot of people come for food. Our airport is one of our biggest strong suits as well. It's just a place that comes and humbles you. Especially from people that come from big countries, big cities and all that. It's just a place that comes and humbles you, and you just get to let loose and be yourself.
What would you say?
I think it's basically a level of comfort. We have so many different cultures
True.
and nationalities here that you'll find some way or the other to just fit in, you know, and it just works. You know, I lived in the Netherlands for quite some time, and I'm not going to lie, in the Netherlands things were great. You know, everything was accessible. Whatever you needed came within a day. You didn't have to go stand in lines. Everything was at the touch of a button. But still, at the same time, you still kind of missed home.
Home will always be home.
Yeah, home will always be home. And then when you get home, as frustrating as it is sometimes, it's like, but this is my place. You know, this is a place that I feel comfortable in. And I think that's what other people have the same thing as well. The only thing now that we have to do is, you know, we let people get too comfortable from the outside that come in, and we let them, the same thing that we talked about, we let them now dictate what we should do. And that is something that we need to start looking into and start, you know, changing and saying that, okay, you can feel comfortable, but this is how things should be from our perspective, because this is our place.
I want to show you something really quick. Mike Brown's father brought me to speak. And I suggested something, and literally a neighborhood is doing what I suggested. You know how I was saying, like, locals owning business?
Yeah.
Imagine this, bro. Like, if 10 people got together, 10 people got together and decided, you know, we're gonna own this business together,
Right.
collectively. Put in $100, $200, whatever it may end up being, and then as that business grows, you know, the residuals are going to be less, but then it's less responsibility.
Right.
They told me, pull your calculator out, bro. Check this out. So I told Mike Brown, Dad, like, how many people are in the neighborhood? Let's say 350 families, right? Time 100, right?
Yeah.
That's $35,000 a month. Times 12.
That's a year.
That's $420,000. You can't buy security cars. You can't police your own neighborhood with $420,000. That's only $100 a family. You know what I'm saying? For real power. I talked about that. I just spoke at the Montgomery Boy Buscot.
Do that math again. That was crazy, huh?
Yeah, there it go right there.
350 families.
350 families.
$100 each family puts in.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
$35,000
$35,000.
times 12.
For the year.
That's not hard, bro. Like, we in our head emotionally, we make this stuff feel hard. It's not hard. We can't cop a couple of Airbnbs for that amount.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Because we spend $100 on less or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. And like you said, this is a true investment.
I've done worse with a lot less.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Exactly.
Woo! But seriously though, like, it's not that hard. But I think a lot of us are scared to start small,
That's
and we
it
don't
right there.
trust each other.
That's the problem.
That's the thing. We don't trust each other. That's the big thing.
And that's why it makes it so easy for outsiders to come in and grab that bread. Because they come in focused. And they don't know nobody else. So they're going to stay amongst the people. That forces them to stay in their small group. What you going to say? Go ahead.
Was that?
No, you was about to say something.
No, I was agreeing with you. So, yeah. Oh, you mean the calculation 420?
Yeah.
Let's get this money, bro.
Yeah.
Like, really.
It's there.
It's there. It's there for us to get. And more than anything, then we can control, how our children live. They got schools in the States that tell black kids that they can't wear their natural hair. Locks are your natural hair. Like, you letting God do the work. How dare you tell a black child or a descendant of an African child that they can't wear their natural hair?
Yeah.
But that's because we don't go to school.
We had those same situations here,
Right
too.
here. We had a major situation with that here.
Kids, you can't go to natural hair, but... I mean, not to discriminate, but little Timmy could wear their hair, the straight hair, and everything.
So what they want us to do is put chemicals in our hair that literally. Do you know one of the greatest causes of cancer in black females in America comes from
Hair straightener.
Comes from the hair straightener,
Absolutely.
the dyes and the lies that we put in our hair. You know what I'm saying? Literally. You know what I'm saying? So kill yourself. But we don't want to see you look. We don't want you to make us feel uncomfortable by you existing.
Yeah, and the excuse they gave was it's a distraction.
Yeah, that was what they said.
What?
Yes, that was
exactly.
It's a distraction from their education, is what they said.
How?
I have no idea.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
We talked about this amongst ourselves on there. We've talked about this.
What the funny thing is the fact that they are able to dictate our human bodies. That's a representation of and a connection to a lot of stuff that happened in the past.
Oh, yeah.
For me to be able to tell you what to do with your body. But the easiest way to not have to worry about that is us loving us.
Facts.
Like I told you that. You remember I told you that when we were sitting at the club last night, and we literally just was sitting there people watching. And he was talking to me about the amount of people that were coming up to me, and it was coming up to him. And I was like, bro, especially with you being on the island, like, how does that feel? And I was having this conversation because I knew that he could relate to what I go through every day of my life. And he said the same thing that I said. I love my people. And the fact that I study my people, even in their most ratchet moments, I even understand why they do what they do.
Yeah.
So I even love our people in those moments. Yeah. And I thank y'all for allowing me to come here and have rest.
Thank you for
thank
taking the
y'all,
time, man.
And I thank y'all for having me up here, because I usually don't do interviews when I'm resting, man. But like, we hit it off so well, man. And what's crazy is he talks so highly about you all when he not at work.
Oh, shucks.
No, I'm dead serious. No, I'm dead serious. And let me really quick. And the reason why I tell y'all that, because we always hear the negative.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man, so-and-so said this. Oh, man, he trying to get at your gal or whatever, blah, 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 blah. But we hardly never hear, man.
Positive.
Dude, man, like, hey, we're really talking really good about you, bro.
Yeah.
We don't even feel like that's the truth because we hear so much negativity.
As soon as you walked in the door, I said, here's the guy I'm always talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
So, like, man, like, for y'all to bring, like, I almost felt like I had to come.
I'm glad you did.
For us to continue the love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And maybe, just maybe, us having this conversation will open up an opportunity for us to do something together that's amazing and that's great.
You know, I always believe everything
happens for a reason.
You are here on this island for a reason.
Divine
You might
intervention.
not find out, it might be 5 years from now,
Yeah.
and find out the reason why you're here on St.Maarten. But it is a reason why you're here. And I really believe that, and that me and you connected the way we connected so far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Elections in the next few weeks. Maybe that's why you're here, David. You're running on the list. Yeah, all right. New prime minister.
Yeah. It's funny because it's some moves already being made. Man.
That's good.
The thing is that the problem with me is I have to know. You remember what I asked you last night? Like, who do the people like?
Yeah.
Like,
I was like,
people will come to me and try to get a relationship with me.
Yeah.
But I always try to make sure that I echo the sentiment of the people. Because a lot of times we'll get relationships because they better our pocket.
Right.
But it ends up hurting the people. You know what I'm saying? So what I always try to do is I get a relationship, but I don't use my power. I wield my sword for the people.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that I ask them, like, bro, who do the people like? Like, what side are the people on? Like, who does the most for the people? That's the question that I ask for. So
and y'all ain't gonna hear the answer.
so don't tell me what you can do for me.
Yeah.
Tell me what you can do for the people.
Everybody else.
Yeah.
Like that was like John F. Kennedy. Don't ask what was it?
Don't ask what your country could do for you, but what you can do
for your country.
John, yeah.
Crazy. Is that something you ever considered doing? Like how Killer Mike made the transition?
As far as what?
Like to like politics.
I do too much politics. That's me and him were talking about that. Like in the States, I'm known more for politics now than I am music.
Mm-hmm. And he was like, I got to get back to music.
I got to get back to music.
Got to get back to music.
Yeah, like that was my fault. I'm so enamored with my people and the freedom of our people and leaving a legacy here for our children that I forget. The reason why people listen to my politics is because I come from music.
Yeah.
Because I got dope beats and dope rhymes and all that kind of stuff. So I got to get back. I got to make the first thing first. So y'all get ready. God Box 2 coming out. New music.
You have your event coming up in the summer.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. And the podcast. It's on new episodes.
Yeah, new episodes are coming up. Don't forget Swangin' for me.
I got it right there.
I got it right here.
Okay, got it right there. I gave it to Outkast as soon as you gave it to me.
Man, I appreciate it.
Right to Outkast.
I love y'all, man. Thank you.
Love you too, man. Appreciate
David
you.
Banner in the building, y'all. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back with Outkast in the mix. Some little David Banner right here for you. It's Laser 101, the station with the attitude.